Welcome back. So at the end of the last video, what we got to was we had our nucleus, we had our electron, and we had our nucleus vibrate and our electron moving around. But before we get into actually drawing out our orbit path, there's a couple of things that we can add on or we can change or just look at in general. So let me just stop that for a second. The first thing we can do is we can change the direction that our electron orbits in. At the moment, it orbits clockwise from right to left, and that's because we have the turn clockwise. If we wanted to orbit the other way, anti-clockwise, then we just simply change like so. And now it orbits anti-clockwise. And if we wanted our electron to move in a bigger or smaller ellipse, we just change these numbers here. Remember that if you want it wider than it is tall, then we change the X. If you want it taller than it is wide, you change the Y. And the last one, at the moment, it goes on forever now, because you've got the forever. But instead, what we can do is we could change it. We can, instead of using forever, use repeat. And this is quite interesting because, forget that. If I want this to do a full once round rotation, then I need this to say 360. And it changes 1 degree for every rotation. And if I press play, you see it doesn't actually work any different, aside from the fact that when it gets back to the start, it will stop and that'll be the end of the orbit. And like so, there we go. But what I can do, as long as the multiple of this number and this number sum up to be 360, these numbers can be wherever I want. For example, if I change this to 180 and 2, and I press play, it will still do a circle or do an ellipse, but it does it much faster, because now, instead of changing just one section, it does 2 sections. Okay, so this number will change by 2 every time instead of 1. And I could try maybe do 94. Now this time this number will change by 4 instead of 1 or instead of 2. So it will go faster again. I still have my ellipse. Okay? And actually you can bring in the same effect with the forever loop. Okay, you can go faster. Because now, as you can see, the number is jumping. Not 1, not 2, but 4 times. So we're jumping to every 4th section of our circle using these. I could change them to whatever I wanted to make it go faster or slower. Okay, so that's a couple of little things to add on you can look at to make yours how you want it to go. But drawing out our orbit, what we need to do is we need to add another selection of blocks. We've got our blocks down here, my motion, look, sound, and so on and so on. And at the bottom, there's this add extensions. If we click on that, there's all these different things that we can actually add in. And what we want to add in is pen. Click on that, and now you'll notice we have this whole new section of blocks, these pen blocks. And what we can do with this is we can, depending on which sprite we decide to start with or use, we can draw patterns. And this electron will draw out our ellipse as long as we tell it which buttons to use. Now we can do this by telling it first things first to put the pen down. Put the pen down and then we can draw. So if we can decide to change the pen color. So let's go for color, and we can choose whatever color we want, the same way we choose the color for our sprites earlier on. Let's go for a nice deep navy color, something like that. That'll do. Okay, so put the pen down, Or maybe if we want it to be a bit more correct, we choose the color, then put the pen down. And really, that's all we need. We press the play, and now you can see we draw out our ellipse. And you notice, actually, now we see this, there's not fully centered. So we might want to change where we start our electron, but if yours is centered, we'll leave it as it is. The other thing it's important, remember when we're doing programming, computers, machines, they follow instructions literally. We've told it to put the pen down, and the pen is down. But we haven't told it to take the pen up, which means whatever we do next, the pen will stay down. For example, I want to change this to something like that. And I start now. You notice in moving to these new positions, it actually draws this line. Okay? And you notice the previous line is still there as well. What I want to do is every time I press the green flag, everything we drew previously disappears and we start again. So what I want to do with that is we're going to use the pen up. We're going to erase everything, then we're going to start again. Now, everything disappears and we begin again. Okay? So that's a little extra thing that we can add in just to see how everything works, to check it. You don't even have to bring your pen up and erase everything. You can change these coordinates all you want and see all the different orbits you can make. You can change the color every time. And do it that way if you want. Okay? So something a little extra to think about, to play with. Now, as for an added activity, how about trying to make a bigger atom? This atom we've made is a rough model of what hydrogen looks like. And hydrogen is the smallest and most abundant element in the universe. It is everywhere. The next biggest one is helium. And helium has 2 protons, 2 electrons, and let's say it has 2 neutrons. Okay? And that would mean that the nucleus is bigger and we have electrons. The electrons ideally don't actually bump into each other. Realistically, in the real world, so to speak, the electrons actually repel each other. They have negative charges. Protons have positive charges, which is what keeps the electrons in orbit. They're attracted to this central proton, and the neutrons are there as buffers to stop other protons in bigger atoms from repelling each other and splitting itself apart. So that's something that you might want to try as an extension. Try and make a helium atom, see what that would look like, and how do you get one atom to orbit left to right, and how do you get one atom to orbit top to bottom, for example. Maybe you can try doing a diagonal orbit or a completely random changing orbit. Okay, but those are all things for you guys to try at home based on what we have here. One thing I find it very, very important to stress just before we come into an end, if you've managed to get yours working and you've done it in a different way to me, maybe use a different combination of blocks, or you can use your sine and cosine, but it still works, great. Don't worry about changing to match mine, because there's always more than one way to do things when it comes to programming like this. There's never always one right answer. Often there are multiple ways to do things. So if yours works and it's different to mine, as long as it works, that's fine. In fact, what you could do is you can either send us these at the Technocamps, or you can tweet us, show us how you're getting on. But either way, have a go, see if you can make your atom models, and if you've got these guys down, see if you can make the bigger, more complicated atoms. But until then, thank you very much, and we'll see you at another activity.